Hey there, this is Triple A RockHound coming to you on episode 1 of Rock Talk. This one's about what is a rockhound and how do I become one? Well, I'm going to show you, tell you, and what you can find sometimes. We'll see what happens. So I get this question asked, what is a rockhound? I've never heard this term before. Really? You never heard of the term rockhound? Or gym hound, or fossil hunter, or other stuff. Well, here's a good video for you. For one, if you go out in your yard, find a neat rock, has bands, has certain things to it, or go to a beach, find some sea glass if you don't know what that is. I'll tell you too. Or find some quartz, find some rocks that has interesting patterns. Well, that classifies as a rock hound because you're picking it up, putting it in your pocket, finding something like this, putting it in your pocket. Ooh, what's that down on the ground? Picking it up. It's called a ground found. And when you find a ground found, okay, I just put that in my pocket now I can't get it out. You find something that's really neat, like this. This is a quartz crystal that's formed oddly. It's flat here, flat here. It was between two rocks, like this. Actually, it was more like this. Sorry about that. It was more like this, and this thing grew like that. But it stopped growing because it was squished between two rocks. Well, when you're out rock hunting, it's also called rock hunting as well, over at Hanson Creek, which is a really cool place, you find all sorts of types of crystals, formations, and also different colors. Mostly clear and white, mostly purple, sometimes clusters, sometimes Japan laws, sometimes different things. Say that you're out and about and you find something like this. This is called a dig find. I'll talk about what a dig find is if you don't know what that is. Here's an example of a ground find. This is almost a clear quartz crystal point. You can tell it's been through a lot, but when you find it, you put it in the pocket or in the backpack. Hanson Creek by far is the neatest place. Next door is Denny Creek, where you find gems and all sorts of different things. I'll talk about that as well. I don't have any. I do have some, but not right now. I'll talk about that in another episode. Well, Hanson Creek has crystals, clusters, a bunch of other things like baby clusters, big clusters like you just saw. Like this guy would be considered as a cluster because it's growing. It's got a little guy here, this guy over here. Yeah, more example. We got clear, we got orange, we got this little dude here, we got this here, and we got rock formation on rock. This guy has been through a lot. Yeah, this guy's been through a lot. I'm going to have some pictures down below that you can see all my ground finds. I'll show you here. Let's see. Here's another example of a ground find. Surprisingly, I don't know how it's going to come out. Oh, there we go. Surprisingly, it's very clear. No damage. Nothing inside that's going to hurt it. So this would be considered as a facet crystal. All clear, which I'm going to turn into one of these days. I'm going to do an episode about what is a facet, what is a cab, what is a slab. That's going to be the title. I come up with these all the time. So, what is it to be a rockhound? It's a fun hobby. Your kids will like it. You will like it. Your pockets are going to like it. And all sorts of goodies. Also, being a rockhound means you could be a gold prospector as well. Gold prospectors, rockhounds, prospectors community are one of the coolest communities you could ever be around with. You can find all sorts of stuff. Here's something from Hanson Creek as well. This guy is unique because it grew different. Like this. The other side's different. Being a gold prospector means you're finding gold like this. Little flakes here and there. Little pickers. You always want to keep your pickers and your finds separate because they weigh different. And they look better. You can probably hear it. It's good to have hobbies, good to be around people that you could help with. Here's another find from Hanson Creek. This is Ionized Crystal. It means iron was around it when it was forming, so it stayed on there. And it's got a host rock and a bunch of other stuff to it. But it formed different than all the rest. Sometimes when you're finding this, you'll find really good ones like this. Before, it'd be like this. This guy would be behind another one sometimes. Or something like this. That came out a lot better than I thought. This guy is a really neat one. Half of my stuff is from Hanson Creek. The other stuff, I never know. Here's another example of a cluster. Poor thing got tumbled so hard that I didn't do it. It was the nature that did it. It got tumbled so hard that it broke this guy, but this guy grew onto this guy, which is really neat. I was hoping I could find the other pieces of it, but over at Hanson, it's really hard to find. So another ground find, not in Hanson. Hanson's a good ground find place. A story to tell you. I was at working in Boston doing some digging, getting rid of some bad material, where I found a carnelian agate out of all places in Boston, out of all the other cities. Boston has carnelians, but this guy was 5 to 8 feet in the ground within a gravel bar, which is odd, and it was in the strangest spot too. Look at that. Look at that orange. And of course I dropped it. Luckily, quartz agate, its hardness is 8 to 10 sometimes. Depends on the thickness. This guy is thick, so if you drop this many times, it won't break. This guy is going to be faceted as well. Not sure of what formation of facet. I told the guy to surprise me. I want to see this into a gem. It is gemmy, which is a term of how it looks, not because of certain reasons. Gemstones, birthstones are two different things. One, birthstone is the month of your birth. Gemstones is what it is called when you cut it, facet it, and you put it on a jewelry. One of my videos is going to be about what you could do with that facet, what you could do with that cap. So yeah, this one was a really neat find. I was surprised, and so was the person I was working for. He let me keep it. I was really surprised. So it's a good find. Ground finds are one of the best finds you can do. Another ground find I found, and it's very heavy, is this big guy. I know. This thing was in Edmonds. It was about 5 feet in the ground. It was all by itself. There was nothing to dedicate, nothing to ID of why it was there. It was just in a gravel bar with no rocks. It was just by itself. We got red jasper, we got white quartz, but over here we have the same, ignore that. We have quartz, but it stopped here. It formed basalt in the middle. Then another layer of red jasper with quartz. So this guy was once here. These two used to be until it formed. Then you got another layer of basalt. Basalt is lava. Basalt is hard lava. So if you're finding lava in basalt, you might find a little treasure like this. I mean, look at that. It's almost all the way around. I'll never cut this guy. I was going to, but I'm keeping it as is because it's a good story. 5 feet in the ground in Edmonds, out of all places, in the road. Besides that, so whoever was working on the road at that time had no clue there was something underneath it. I mean, I was surprised. And yes, they are dust collectors. That's the thing, is they become dust collectors. So keep your rocks clean. Keep your display stuff clean. Trust me, I know that. But yeah, basalt, red jasper, quartz. Why is that happening? Because, one, certain jaspers are, like red is one of the closest rocks to the core of Earth. The big blue circle thing that you're on. You never know what you're going to find out in the field, out in work, or anywhere else. You just have to find your style of stains to find. Mine, I have dumb luck finding the weirdest stuff. As you see in the pictures, here's one that I don't have a picture of. This guy is also quartz, but it's been through a lot of tumbling, of natural tumbling like this. Something happened to it to make it like this. We got host rock, we got crystals. Let's see. I already showed that. Here's one that I found that was a ground find. It's kind of hard to see because it's been through a lot. I think either someone lost it or they chucked it and didn't like it. I'm glad I found it because it's a phantom quartz. You can't really see it inside. You can somewhat. You can see it inside. Phantom quartz is what you find sometimes, but in Hanson, it's very rare to find. It's also got rudolite inside of it. Tiny little fractures of crystals inside, so it's a triple threat of a crystal. Phantom. Hey there, this is Triple A RockHound on part 2 of the video you saw before this one. My bad, I didn't realize how long I was talking for. So, continue on RockHound. What it is, what you can do with it. But I'm going to talk about what is a phantom quartz. Phantom quartz is a rock, a 2-layer to 3-layer rock. Sometimes I've seen clusters of phantom quartz. It is when a quartz that grows. Let me get an example. When a single guy like this grows but stops, but another one grows over it and over the whole thing and keeps it growing. Kind of like what a double does. Like this would be called a double. Instead of being a double, it's a double with each other. So say that this guy grew and then this guy took over the growth. This little guy here took over the whole growth. So you got two crystals in one. And once in a while, you'll find that it has moss agate inside of it. Something happened to it during the time. That's what this guy is basically called a phantom rhyolite quartz. Sorry about the way it looks. It's been beat up over the time. Quartz hardness, again, is between 8 and 10. Hence why it's really hard to break. Depends on the thickness of it. Let me get an example. Like this guy here would be called a double, but it's got a little guy in the back as well as the front, so it would be called a triple little cluster. Just by itself. So to continue on, I hope you like these videos that I'm doing. It's called Rock Talk. I talk about rocks, talk about hobbies, talk about good stories. So if you'd like to know more about this, I hope you do. Don't forget to follow. Don't forget to subscribe. Comment, like, because I like to see what you guys have to say about it. Hopefully, I'll do more of Rock Talk. Also, I'm going to be doing Rock Talk on Tuesdays and Thursday videos. So I could take a break from my TikTok. It's been crazy roller coaster. And also from my Twitch. So, I'll put my link down below for my TikTok because it's neat and you never know what I find. I will also do a what am I thankful for video. You're going to like that one. It's going to be for Thanksgiving. So, yeah. So you could find, so if you find out on the beach, out in the grounds of your own yard, out hiking, if you find jasper, a certain type of jasper, like I said about the big guy, you never know what you're going to find out in the field. I am Triple A RockHound. Happy hobbies, happy life. It's not just a hobby, it's a lifestyle. Thanks for coming.